off. Probably get a new one in general too. I've had this for some time and it's already half broken. But that just be how things kind of go. We'll do the one check again to make sure things sound good. So 1 second here. How do we sound? But that just be... I think we sound pretty damn good. Well, not good, but we sound acceptable. And that's all you can ask for these things. And hopefully this doesn't take long, because again, we're down to 2 games now, so let's get ready to do this. I don't want to waste time because it's already 4:30 in the morning. I'm going to make a rule to myself, or make a goal to myself for the Super Bowl thing. Just do it during the daytime. Just do it during the daytime. But, oh well. We shall see when we get there. Hello everybody and welcome to the Conference Championship weekend, or the title card games for the conferences. I am your host, the Blind Canadian Cat. I say meow and I roll intros like the many ones you've seen in the past, and the many ones you will see in the future of this channel. Because after 12 or 13 years of being on YouTube, I'm still here and I'm still doing shit, so yippee! But yeah. I'm not gonna waste time, because it is 4:30 in the morning, and we only got 2 games to talk about, so let's just get them out the way. And we'll recap last week. Last week, I was on fire. I know ball. Going a perfect 4-0 straight up. I know things, I see things, I call it out, and I know ball. Denver beating Buffalo, which was the controversial pick. Could have gone either way, but I called it out, I sniffed it out. Buffalo's injuries and unforeseen turnovers aside, Denver was able to pull away. Seattle manhandled the Niners to hell and back, which resulted in my only spread loss. I went 3-1 against the spread. I would have thought San Fran would have kept things interesting. And again, I mostly banked on that being partially due to Sam Darnold kind of not being there in big moments. But he didn't really have to do anything. Seattle got an opening kickoff return for a touchdown immediately. Got a couple easy turnovers. They were up 17-0 after 1. So by that time, it was just cruise control the rest of the way. New England took care of Houston, as we all expected, though Houston's defense put up a phenomenal performance, unfortunately to be overshadowed by CJ's not-so-great night in wintry New England. And the Rams expected were the only road team to go on the road into a even colder Chicago and outlast a ferocious Bears defense. Because, man, that Rams team got beaten up to hell and back. But they overcame it. But we need by a field goal in overtime to help keep that plus 3.5 with Chicago safe and perfect for me. So like I said, 4-0 straight up, 3-1 against the spread. Totals, I got punched in the mouth because, like I said, Seattle dropped 41. I don't think any of us were expecting that. All these great defenses, but all these forced turnovers gave short fields and easy scoring positions for both New England and Houston. And then the Bears and Rams cold game was cold. No fourth quarter magic needed because it was just a dogfight the whole way through for both. But even then, Chicago found a way to make some bullshit magic happen. So, yep. 4-0 straight up, 3-1 against the spread, 1-3 on the total. That brings my playoff records to 8-2 straight up, 8-2 against the spread, and 3-7 on the totals. Lost cause there, but the other two, we're soaring. We are flying high. And I love it. And so with that, let us get ready to break down the conference championship games. And we're going in order of how they're being aired, which means first one we're going over to the AFC, with New England traveling to Denver to take on the Broncos. Now, due to the unfortunate news that I don't need to repeat because we've all been bashed over the head with it about Denver's quarterback situation, New England waltzes through this game as a 4.5 favorite. And I'm going to touch on that real quick by saying I was watching this line, mostly from the hypothetical lines when the news broke in Denver to what happened after New England and Houston had a winner and all the steps along the way. It stayed at 3.5 for a bit, and then I think when Monday rolled around, it opened at 4.5, and then it shot up to 5.5 at one point. But now it's come back down to 4.5. So the line, despite everything going on with that situation, they came up front like, "Hey, Bo's gone. We're going with Jarrett. We're balling." The line did not move a whole lot, and then the same thing with the total. They started low anyway. Started in the low 40s. I think it started at 41 on the Monday night, and now checking it right before I hit record, it bumped up to 42.5. So maybe there's expectation of points. Maybe they're expecting Denver to put up a better fight than we all suspect, and I'm not gonna rule it out too. Like, I don't want to throw shade to Bo, and I mean it. My roommate got me a Bo Nix rookie card with the patch and everything. So I'm not gonna throw shade on Bo, former Oregon guy. And I'm always gonna rep my Oregon players, but I don't think the health of Bo would have really much affected this game. Yes, you obviously want him out there because he's the better quarterback, and I do think Bo will have a great career. I'm not trying to shame that. I just don't think Bo was going to make or break this game either way. And I say that mostly because even leading up to this, and I'm sure you've seen my playoff bracket, I predicted New England to win the AFC anyway. Um, and even going into the weekend, I'm like, if New England gets out of Houston, I feel like they'll beat whoever they go up against and just go to the Super Bowl. So even with Denver, my hunch was to go with New England to win the game. I feel like 95% of people's hunches is to take New England here at this point anyway. It's not necessarily a Bo Nix thing. It's just with it being Jarrett, I think it's kind of finalized. Even with the unnecessary amount of turnovers that Drake and New England has had during these playoffs, uh, I just think he's also had just as many clutch moments or good moments in this opportunity. And Jarrett, well, simply put, he hasn't thrown a live football regular season or postseason pass in years. And while I think Sean Payton's a smart enough coach to get him in position to do what he needs to do, I just don't think it'll be enough. I think this New England team was a team of destiny. Once it started going uphill, once it started becoming more and more obvious they'll win this division, I think they just became a team of destiny from that point on. Had they run into Jacksonville, who some of us were sleeping on, it could have been interesting. But I always thought New England was a better team than Denver. And I'm just going to roll with it here. With Bo Nix, without Bo Nix, I don't think it would have mattered either way. I like New England in this spot. I like the Patriots to go into Denver, beat the Broncos, and advance to Super Bowl 60 in Santa Clara. Now, like I said, on the line's bounced around. I think it opened at one hypothetical line opened at 3.5. It opened at 4.5 at one point, jumped to 5.5 Monday night or Tuesday night, and then come back down to 4.5 again. It feels risky. It feels suspicious. But like I said, I think this New England team has been fine anyway. I don't think winning by a touchdown is too far out of reach. I will lay the 4.5 on New England going into Denver, being Denver. And I know there's some skepticism. I've seen the Nick Foles meme. I was laughing at that shit too. With backup quarterbacks having a good track record against the Patriots. I've seen the track record on that. I've seen that. I've seen the history, and when I say history, I mean Brady's history. The two playoff games, him going to Denver against Peyton, he's lost both of those. I remember I don't remember, but I know of the 2005 season where he had to go to Denver against Jake Plummer and that crew. They lost that game. New England does not have a good track record going into Denver in the playoffs. But like I said, this is not that team. This is not Brady. This is not Vrabel. This is not Peyton. I don't even think we can compare Jared Stidham to Jake Plummer, but I didn't get to watch Jake Plummer, so I don't know what he's like. So I'm not going to compare the two. And the defenses that Denver had in 2013 and 2015, I think were a lot better than the 2025 Denver defense. It's still good, but they weren't Houston. They weren't them. I guess that's a lie. They got the record in sacks. I don't know ball. It's not. Denver is a good team, and a good enough team that even without Bo, they can win this game at home. I think they absolutely could. I don't think it will be shocking or surprising if Denver wins this game. I think they are very capable of doing it. I just think New England overall is the better team. So yeah, New England win. Give me the 4.5. Total of the game, I don't think I brought that up yet. It's set at 42.5. Like I said, I think it opened at 40. It was like 41 Monday or Tuesday, and then it jumped to 42 right before I hit record. It's a tricky one. It's a tricky one. But I think because I do trust both these teams, and I do think both teams are respectable and legitimate. Ooh, Actually, now I'm second guessing myself. New England did get a lot of points from turnovers, but they also did drive the ball a lot. And even then, Denver's defense, they gave up a lot of yards and points to Buffalo, even with all the turnovers. I'm going to do it. Give me the over in this game. I do, like I said, from my perspective, I do think New England does enough to make a stamp. And, like, Denver's a good team, but I think New England shows up enough that they could make the game interesting. Or make the game, control the game. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm fumbling over my words. It's 4:30 in the morning. But yeah, give me over 42.5. Thinking like a 27-17 kind of game. Or you can even go like 26-20. I guess I said the same thing, 27-20. 24, I guess it would have to be like 19 to get over 42. I don't know. But you get my point. Like, I think New England does enough on offense. They control the game. New England's defense has not gotten enough credit for this regular season they've had and the playoff run they've had against both the Chargers and the Texans. Now, I have to say about the Chargers and Texans offense, who knows? But the Denver defense has gotten turnovers, and you can't sleep on getting turnovers, no matter how you get them. So I can see a field where they open up some short fields, and Drake's got to just throw one or two passes to a Stephon Diggs, Kayshon Boutte, Demario Douglas. I think Mac Hollins might be healthy for this game. Hunter Henry, Austin Hooper, Ramondre Stevenson, Trayvon Henderson. Like, they got pieces. They're not blow your socks off pieces, but they got pieces. I think New England can score enough. Patriots win. Patriots cover 4.5. Give me the over 42.5. New England Patriots, through hell or high water and bullshit, are back in the Super Bowl. And now we tip things over to the NFC side. And it just felt like this was coming. It felt like these two were the two best teams through it all, and it just made sense. The Los Angeles Rams are heading to Seattle to take on the Seahawks. Seahawks as a home team are 2.5 point favorites. So it's not a complete home field advantage, but just enough that you know that they're for a serious team and a real team, but the Rams are no slouches either. Total of the game opened up at 47.5 when I first saw it, but has dropped to 46.5. So a little bit of a hit, not too much. Now, with this game, you talk about their two regular season matchups. Darnold throwing 4 picks in the game in LA, and them winning by 2 because I think it was Seattle missed a game-winning field goal because it was like 60 yards or so. So Rams barely win that game. Fast forward to the game in Seattle. Rams had a big lead heading into the fourth. Seattle pushed back, came to tie it up. Rams also missed a field goal to potentially take the lead in regulation. Game goes to overtime. Rams drive down the field. Seattle drives right back down because we gotta have multiple touchdown possessions in overtime because somebody, the Bills, had to cry about overtime laws and rules and shit. So Seattle drove back, and obviously they're like, I don't want to do another possession of shit. We're going for 2 in the win. Good job, NFL. Now it's less of both teams get a shot and more of the second team basically just gets to go for the win or lose at the end. Good job, NFL. Make defense matter. But yeah, 2-point win in LA for the Rams, 1-point win in Seattle for the Seahawks. Brings us to another close game here in Seattle. Now, to my knowledge in both, it seems like the Rams had control one way or another and looked like the better team. One, they had to eke out a win despite all the turnovers. The other one, they had a lead, they lost it. Got it back in overtime, but then lost it due to another miraculous drive and 2-point conversion. So everything on paper to me seems like the Rams are the better team here. But if there's one thing NFL history has taught me, when you have an elite defense, and Mike Macdonald has that Seahawks defense, very real. I know there's a bunch of jokes and memes, man, on Ravens Twitter that we should have kept Mike Macdonald, but Harbaugh was never going to get fired after an AFC Championship appearance. He just never was. So that's why we couldn't have him. It wasn't going to happen anyways. So yeah, he's in Seattle, and in year 2, he's got that team with Sam Darnold, who we still don't know whether or not to believe it. Minnesota felt fluky, but here we are with Seattle, and he's right back again. Consistent offense, defense playing elite. He's right back here again, and this time he did get the Week 18 win to secure the bye and home field advantage. He did get the win over San Francisco in the divisional round to give them a playoff win. And here we are. Here we are again. Money on the line. And I think back to last year. That Vikings team, granted, had to go on the road, which you could argue was a neutral field because of wildfires, but who did they lose to in that playoff game? They lost to the Rams. Not that this particular stat matters, but I think the Rams now, that makes them 4-1 or 3-1 in their last 4 or 5 matchups against Sam Darnold. They seem to have his number, more or less. But then I also look at the Rams. You got into a dogfight with Carolina. You got into a dogfight with Chicago that needed overtime. This team's been in a lot of dogfights. They have not been given an easy game. They have not been given rest, and you could argue that teams like Carolina and Chicago are not the caliber of Seattle. So, there's a lot of things working for both and against both teams. So you thought the previous game could be a coin flip if everyone would have been healthy. This game is a serious coin flip. But it does bring into question a critical injury that did happen. Seattle lost their essentially RB2, but he seemed to be getting a lot more carries lately. Zach Charbonnet tore his ACL in that divisional round against San Francisco, and he is out for the rest of the playoffs. So, that's a critical injury. That means Kenneth Walker, who is very capable of doing it, but is going to be more relied on him to do all run game stuff. Sam Darnold in the playoffs. Fumbled against originally a very good Rams defense, but fumbled the ball a lot last year. In the playoff game this year, how much can we really say about Sam Darnold? He had the one drive after having plus field position and a lead already. All the momentum for Seattle. 10, 17 points, easy peasy. If this game becomes anything close to the games the Rams have been in, if it comes in a dogfights, how much do I trust Seattle and Sam Darnold to make enough plays? And I think I'm letting reputation get to me. I just don't see it. I think if you're going to twist my arm and ask me who to trust more, I'm going to trust Stafford more. And I think with that reason, I'm going to pick the Rams to win this game. I'm going to take the Rams to go into Seattle, beat the Seahawks and that very elite defense, and that very great coaching job by Mike Macdonald, who honestly should probably be the coach of the year. I think Mike Macdonald would be my candidate for coach of the year. Him or Kyle, but I would lean more towards Mike. But yes, give me the Rams to go into Seattle and win that game. Seattle's a betting favorite, so obviously I'm going to take the Rams plus 2.5. This feels like one of those situations where if you can find a Rams plus 3.5, grab that, because if even if Seattle does win, I can't imagine it's going to be belt ass. The Rams are going to make it a game, one way or another. On the line is 46.5. That defense would make you think it'd be the under, but I just watched them put up 41 on San Francisco. I watched the Rams put up points. Struggle in Chicago, but I got to imagine Seattle's going to be a lot warmer, a lot nicer than 15 degrees Chicago. So maybe that helps them more. Maybe keep everyone warm and loosened up. Maybe, I'm not sure. But I know what these offenses are capable of, and I'm going to trust my gut with them. Give me the over 46.5 points here. Because these overs be hitting. So I'm taking the Rams to win. Give me them plus 2.5. And give me the over 46.5. This could be an easily 27-24. 28-21. Like, name your price, name your pick. I don't think this goes 30s, but 20 should be plenty of fine. And yeah, with that, I'll have the Los Angeles Rams representing the NFC in the Super Bowl. So yeah, it looks like I'm just copying and pasting my bracket because my bracket was the Rams over the Patriots in the Super Bowl. And now here we are with 3 of the 4 teams I had originally predicted in my bracket to make it to their respective conference games. I'm gonna just kind of roll with it. I'm making these picks to make these picks. As you can see, that's why I switched to Denver instead of just rolling with Buffalo for the sake of my bracket. I chose Denver because I saw things, and I'm saying this now. even with everything I've seen, I'm still going to lean that way. There is an influence with the bracket, but I was going to make these picks more than likely, regardless. And regardless of health, if Charbonnet was healthy for Seattle, if Bo Nix was healthy for Denver, I'd probably still make these picks. So there you have it. I'm picking New England, and I'm picking LA. I will say, I'll add this part here because for tradition's sake, I do like to rank the upcoming matchups. I do like to rank them and why my personal preference. Personal preference says I don't want any of this shit. I would much rather to see like a Jags, Bears, or a Texans. I don't know, but we're here for the sake of it. Monkey Monday, thanks K-Bob for popping in. Wanted me to hide your message, but I'll show it because why not? And you'll be the first person I actually acknowledge because I've had a couple of people in the past that I choose to not acknowledge because they're assholes. But anywho, rankings. For those who know, I usually really don't like Super Bowl rematches, but considering 3 of the 4 of these outcomes would be a rematch, and the one that isn't features the team with the backup quarterback. Not to say the backup quarterbacks can't give us good games, but if it's going to be a rematch, I want storylines. And the Patriots and Rams storylines of who is the actual MVP between Drake and Stafford, just, it seems more worth it to me. It just seems more worth it. But yeah. Patriots Rams 1, Patriots Seahawks 2. I would love to see Mike McDonald win one. I think that'd be cool. I don't know how I'd feel about Sam Darnold winning one because that would mean he'd beat both Josh and Lamar to getting a ring, and Baker for that matter. Somehow Sammy D gets the first ring of the group, or gets the first appearance of the group. That would be interesting for all parties. But yeah, and I guess Denver and LA would be 3, and Denver Seattle would be 4. That would be probably the play. I feel like if it's Denver Seattle, we're gonna get an outcome very similar to when they met in the previous one. So, if Denver makes it, I would root more for LA. Not that I don't think LA would also do the same thing, but I think there'd be a little more spark to it, especially being a matchup we haven't seen in the Super Bowl. So yeah, New England LA 1, New England Seattle 2, Denver LA 3, Denver Seattle 4. And yeah, that is it. Jacob's question. I can't see because there's that heart symbol next to it. Is there a team that has never been to a Super Bowl before? That has never been? There has been 4 of the 32. That is Detroit, Cleveland, Houston, and Jacksonville. Go away. I'm doing something right now.
What?
I'm doing something right now. Shoo shoo.
I just wanted to let you know that.
I saw your message. I saw it. Shoo shoo.
Shoo
Shoo shoo. Shoo shoo.
Are you doing a video?
Shoo shoo.
Are you doing a video?
Shoo shoo.
Are you doing one?
Yes.
Why can't I do it with you?
Because I'm almost done. I'm wrapping up.
Can I do it?
No, go away.
Can I make an appearance?
Go away.
Can I say hi?
You are being a butt.
Maya wants to say hi too.
Shoo shoo.
I want to give my predictions.
Shoo shoo. I already told them your predictions.
Please.
I tell everyone's predictions from the group chat.
Oh, alright, come on, Maya. Oh. Maya wants to be featured.
Hi, Borky.
Are you recording it or are you live?
It's live.
Okay. Hi, chat. Even though no one's probably watching.
Yeah, go to bed.
I'm trying! I keep falling asleep and then waking back up. My back hurts. Alright, come on, Maya.
Because I'm definitely going to bed after this.
Alright, come on. Come on. Sorry.
But yes, Jacob, to answer your question, it's Detroit, the Lions, the Detroit Lions, Houston Texans, Jacksonville Jaguars, and Amanda's lovely Cleveland Browns. Those are the 4 teams that have never been. Now, teams like Houston and Jacksonville get credit because they weren't founded until the 90s, but teams like Detroit and Cleveland, they've been around since the Super Bowl was formed, all the way back in the 60s, and still haven't made it. So, they get more shit than both Jacksonville and Houston, who've only been around since the 90s. But as far as teams who've never won it, I think there's 12 in total of the 32. But yes, 4 haven't made it, 12 haven't won it. All 4 teams that are alive still have all won it in the past, so no new winners. Hell, yeah, all 4 of these teams have won one in the last 15 years, so not even new winners in general. But, yep, those are my picks. That's all everything, and I think that is everything from us. Thank you all for tuning in. Make sure you follow me on my Twitter, CanadianCatCP, onto my Instagram, The Blind Canadian Cat, Discord, and all other links will be posted below or on the channel description. Thank you all for joining me. Thank you all for having fun, who are watching this now, or will watch this in the future. Good luck to you and your bets and your parlays. And I will see you all next for Super Bowl 60 and my predictions. Peace, love, and trust. Good night, Internet.